G'day, we're Brad and Haley, and in today's episode we're going to push our caravan to the limit, crossing one of Australia's most remote and unforgiving tracks. So come along for the ride with us on undoubtedly our most wild adventure yet.
Thought they were joking, but no, we just got kicked out of here. Not a bad job for a bush fix. That should hold up nicely. So we're doing a cross-country expedition.
I've never seen a wild camel, I don't think.
No, me either. I'm gonna ride one.
Well, g'day and welcome back to another episode, and let me tell you, this next video is going to be our biggest adventure that we have ever been on in our 2 years full-time traveling Australia, and we weren't even supposed to be here. It's all come about very last minute. Our travel plans completely changed just the other week. As you know, I've been traveling WA for all of this year, heading up the coast, and that's what we were going to keep doing pretty much for the rest of this year. But something you might not know about us is we absolutely love the snow, and we used to go pretty much every year, but since we've been traveling Australia we haven't been back to the snow, and we just started thinking, wow, we really miss the snow. It's coming into winter, wouldn't it be great to go on a snow trip again? And then we realized, hey, we actually travel Australia full time. We can go wherever we want to go, we can change plans whenever we want. So that's exactly what we did. We literally changed our plans, quickly made this new itinerary to get across the country in like 3 weeks time. And the reason why we need to get from the west coast to the east coast in 3 weeks time is because school holidays is coming, and we do not want to be in the snow for school holidays, so we're going to try and get there beforehand. But that means we've got a lot of ground to cover in a very short amount of time.
Got about 5,500 k's to drive, but we're taking a very interesting track, one that I haven't really any idea of what to expect. So we're going to start off by doing the Gary Junction track, which basically takes you from Marble Bar in Western Australia all the way across to Alice Springs, that cuts through the Great Sandy Desert. It should be something new and exciting and different for us. And
literally the most remote we are ever going to go. So
it's as remote as you can get in Australia. We're literally passing through Australia's most remote town. So we got so much water, so much fuel. We've been stocking up this week in between feeling like zombies and being completely out of this world sick, but we're feeling like we got our energy back, and we're gonna start making our way across. So today is the day we are starting.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, let's enjoy this water. We're not gonna see water in the desert, Patsy.
Where are we at the moment?
Kongan or Koongan Longpool. It's about 15 minutes outside of Marble Bar. We actually pulled in here about 7 o'clock last night. We've been doing some Ks because we've used up a lot of our leisure time by being sick. So we've got that itinerary we talk about. We've got to stick to that. So we pulled in here last night. It's a nice place to wake up, but we've got to keep moving.
If you're new around here, this is our setup that we've been using to travel around Australia for the past 2 years. We make videos along the way, so if you enjoy the episode and want to support us, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or even buy us a beer.
It's our last opportunity to pick up some reliable water, so just top our tanks off. Also top off on diesel while we're in the town of Marble Bar, because we're looking at $3, between $3 and $3.30 a litre for fuel across this Gary Junction road, which is big bickies. So we've got about 400 litres on board of water. We've got about 200 litres of diesel. I'm hoping that'll be enough to sort of get us across. I'm sure it will be. Should only take us like 4, maybe 5 days to get across to Alice Springs. So yeah, we'll do that here. And also just remembered that well, the van reminded me that I need to grease up all my bushes and stuff because she's squeaking a little bit. So I'll get underneath it and give everything a good greasing before we hit the dirt. Nice having airbags. You can jack the bloody caravan right up, so it makes it easy to get to. You're not crawling around down there in the dirt. And then you can reach your arm through the wheels here to access the rear one rather than sliding underneath. Mate, they are dry after Caravanning.
So we're just leaving Marble Bar and we've reached our first little hurdle with this remote track, and that is that apparently all the fuel stations along the way are in communities and they don't open for much time at all, really. So
a few hours a day, maybe 4 hours max a day.
Yeah, so you have to be prepared to pay cash for your fuel, and like Brad mentioned before, the fuel is super expensive. So how much are we looking at spending on fuel?
I did the calculations this morning, about $1,600.
$1,600 on fuel in 4 days, and potentially needing cash for all of that. So we just went to the little Marble Bar Traveller's Rest, asked for how much cash out we could get, and they said $800. So that,
half of what we need,
plus the cash that we already have, we probably have about $1,000 cash. So
yeah,
hopefully some of these communities will take card, but yeah, fingers crossed.
We're about 150 k's out of Marble Bar, and it's turned to dirt. So we're dropping our tyres down. There should be well over 1,000 kilometers now of dirt and corrugations. And this stuff, which we haven't encountered a lot of, bull dust. This whole setup would just be completely filthy by the time we get to the end of this track. But dropping my pressures down, just airing right down. I know that the road's going to get bad, so I'm going 22 in the van, 22 psi in the van tyres, and I'll go around the same for the car. Just keeping in mind, I keep a bit more pressure over the rear axle because there's a bit more weight over the rear axle with the ball weight of the van and stuff like that. So yeah, get down around 22 psi. It's at least 400 k's until our next fuel from Marble Bar, so we've still got another 250 k's. And basically the way I'm going to run it is I'm just going to continue to fill up at every service station that I can, because fuel is definitely not a given out here. So fuel up at every opportunity we get, and yeah, we'll keep on moving. We weren't wrong about the state of the road after we hit the mine road turn off. So the mine is just over behind us there, behind a mountain range. I just saw a few glimpses of it. Massive looking operation, but the road's gone from being like, I don't know, 4 lanes wide and really nice and smooth to quite a decent like little track. This is probably a wide part, but there's parts where it's only like 1 lane wide, and there's sort of bushes and stuff growing in the middle of the road. So literally is turning into a goat track, and we're not even probably 1/10 of our way along it yet. So anyway, we're going to pull up the road here about 20 k's, set up camp for the night, give everything a bit of a rest, and I'll look over and make sure that we haven't picked up any damage throughout the day. First casualty, unfortunately. I just went to send the drone up. Camp's only about 3 kilometers that way, but I just noticed this dragging in the sand. That is our power connection from our car that charges our caravan, and it currently looks like this. So that's been dragging for quite a while. Unfortunately, that's completely stuffed, and I might have a spare Anderson plug. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I'm not sure if I have the lugs and the terminals that suit that size cable. So I don't know how that's just pulled out or if it's just wiggled out. Oh, actually, you can see the Anderson on the car is a little bit fatigued. There's a crack in that as well, so could have even got hit by a stone. Just don't know. But now we don't have any charge from our car, so not good, but that's a job for later. Well, this is not much, but it'll do for the night. It's a slight rise in elevation compared to everywhere else, but it's just a gravel pit. And really weird, there's like jet fuel 44-gallon drums everywhere. It's really strange, hey?
Yeah, I wonder why that's there.
I don't know, maybe they use it to like refuel helicopter out here or something like that.
Well, there is a gold mine just over there. It's funny because there's like, you look around, there's nothing around, but then there is actually a gold mine just over there, so maybe it's got something to do with that.
Yeah. So we've gone back to basics a little bit this afternoon just to try and get a bit more of a perspective on what we're actually doing out here and how far we've got across. So we've got the big paper map. I would say anyone who's traveling around Australia should have some type of paper map in their car because they do come in handy, especially if your phone goes flat or something like that. But this big map actually lived in our house. It was in our stairwell for like years, so she's pretty frail and beat up, but that's okay. We can still see what we've got to do, and it is really overwhelming when you look at it on a scale like this. So the other day we started over here in Exmouth, and then we've travelled all the way up to Port Hedland, and then we cut down to Marble Bar yesterday, and now we've pushed all the way out to somewhere here, Wilkie Range. That's about where we are right now. So we've got to get from here all the way over to here. Like, and look at that as a scale. I'll put my fingers there and zoom out, Pats, and I'll show you how far we've got to travel. So that's how far we've got to travel, and then once we get to there, we've got to travel all the way down to here. Wow. So we've got to go from. So we're doing a cross-country expedition. It's crazy, hey?
Look how much more populated it is here than where we are over there.
Yeah, so up here somewhere, it's called Kiwirrkurra, or Kiwirrkurra. It's the most remote town in Australia, and it's pretty hard to argue with that. Looking at what's around it, there's literally nothing but the Gibson Desert and the Great Sandy Desert. There is literally nothing. So tomorrow morning, the plan is to get up. The petrol station should be open. It's about 100 k's from here, so we'll need to fill up at Poonmoo, and we'll get as much fuel as we possibly can from there and keep on rocking and rolling. And yeah, who knows what to expect. Haven't seen really much else. We've seen one car come the other way today. The road was in pretty good condition, but I expect it to get much worse now that we've passed that gold mine. But anyway, we'll enjoy a nice desert sunset. It's so peaceful out here, right? There's just nothing going on out here. So we'll have a nice cook up and hopefully see some stars come out tonight.
Just us and the flies.
Yeah, the flies are back in force. We thought we shook them, but they're out here.
What I had to give. What I had to. What I had to give. To
Good morning from the gravel pit. We are on the move again this morning, but before we go anywhere, I need to fix the little oopsie-daisy that we had with the Anderson plug. So I've got to fix this thing this morning. I had a look last night and I found that I had some spare parts that I think might be able to fix it. So I'll try and replace it with this Anderson plug. I can't actually, I've only got one, so I can't replace the one on the car and the one on the van. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the one on the van and then I'll just tape it or zip tie it. And at least that way I can get charge into the van while we're driving. Oh, only just fits. Look at that. So you can see that's all plugged up there. The solder's come out of the actual tube. What I might do is I might just heat that lug there a little bit more, but it should be on there. And let's just give it a quick pull test. It's not quite cool yet, but oh mate, I've got so much force on that and that's not coming out. So hopefully that's sealed up nicely. I'll be able to see if I'm getting my 30 amps from the car, so I'll know if there's any voltage drop or anything like that. But that should be pretty reliable to get us to where we need to go. There we go. Actually not a bad job for a bush fix. That should hold up nicely. Alright, pop the Anderson on and we're back in business.
Taken off from camp. It is day 2 of our trek across Gary Junction and the road is not getting any better.
No, it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
Already in like the 10 minutes that we've been driving, it is getting a bit rough. There's been lots of up and downies and corrugations and like just cracks through the road, but it's pretty beautiful. Like this red sand that we're seeing out there is really cool to see. I definitely feel like we're heading into the desert.
There's also a lot of flowers out at the moment. I had a fair bit of rain here only like a fortnight ago, so everything is like sort of blooming and it's really pretty. There's a lot of greenery for a desert.
Today we need to get fueled, so it's about, what did you say, is it 2 hours?
Google Maps said 2 hours. It's about 70 k's away, so that's a pretty big estimate. That's Google Maps reckons we're going to do 35 k's an hour for 2 hours. I don't think so. We've been averaging about 60, between 60 and 80, but it's so hard. It's on and off. There's humps in the road and then there's little washouts and things like that. So it's going to be a pretty fatiguing day because you've got to be on the ball when you're driving out these corrugations. First sign of camels. That's definitely a camel hoof, that one, eh?
Yeah.
Like, look at the size of that bloody thing.
I've never seen a wild camel, I don't think.
No, me either. I'm gonna ride one this trip.
You're not.
Yeah. I reckon I'll probably tame one. His name will be Gary because of the Gary Junction. And you'll drive this and I'll camelback it all the way to Alice Springs.
Okay.
Alright, let's go find Gary. basically fuel up at every stop along the way. Just in case like one of the stops is closed, we need to just make sure that every time we're able to fill up diesel, we do so, because we can only make it sort of like 700 or 800 Ks with the amount of fuel that we've got. And I think the most distance between some of these fuel stops is about 400 Ks. So we can't get a tank at one and then we have to get to the next one. We sort of might get in a situation where we could potentially run out of fuel. So hopefully these guys are open. We're probably on their lunch break actually, but we'll figure it out. Fuel store office. Let's go to the fuel. Painted on a car bonnet. The signs are painted on a car bonnet. Alright, so we have arrived at the community of Punmu or Poonmu, and they're on lunch break at the moment, so everything's closed until 1 o'clock, which is about in half an hour's time. So we're going to have lunch too, because we need to access the general store to pay for the fuel, and we can't access the general store or pay for the fuel until everyone's back from lunch.
One thing we were quite surprised by was the constant changing of road conditions and scenery out here. After all, we were covering quite a lot of ground, and after a big day behind the wheel, we were searching for a bit more fuel before trying to find a camp before the sun set.
Just opened it.
Yeah.
What's inside?
Pat Callaghan's 4x4 Adventures sticker. Someone else can have that one. Who have we got? 17th, 16th, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quite a few people coming through for such a remote road.
Whoa.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
A lot of these people probably travelling together. Look at this. Oh, we better leave a little note, shouldn't
Yeah.
This point is quite a popular landmark out here, as it's where the Gary Junction and the Canning stock route intersect, right around well 33. Not far from here is only one of 2 fuel stops along the Canning stock route, which at 1850 kilometres places it as the largest stock route in the world. It's amazing to reflect back on over a century ago and think about the stockmen embarking on this mammoth journey, traversing through the most desolate areas on our continent.
Okay, we made it through day 2 and we are now at the Gary Junction camp. Good place for us to park up for the night. Old mate Bradzo wanted to keep on driving, and I have to say,
You had to pull me
look
up.
at where the sun is. It's literally about to set. We need to just...
I mean, this looks really nice here too.
I know, and it looks beautiful. It's like a little, it literally looks like a campsite rather than just a random gravel pit, which we probably would have ended up at in the dark.
In the dark, yeah. It's always stressful trying to find
And
camp
that
in the dark.
road is getting worse.
Yeah.
There's been a few holes that we've been hitting
Let's just
at high
say
speed.
the Cruiser has turned into a Qantas 747 maybe once.
We haven't been in the caravan yet. Let's go have a check inside there.
Have a squizzy.
But Brad just said that we're going to have a fire as well. So this is good. We get to camp with enough energy to be able to have a fire and cook something nice outside and that kind of thing.
Let's have a look in here. Do a quick. Uh-oh.
What?
Your painting, your picture has fallen down. Oh, guys.
I thought something bad.
Nah, we're looking good.
Is Starlink still in the bed?
Starlink's still up there. Mate, this thing rides like a magic carpet with the airbags. I tell ya, it's so good. And check out the benches. I mean, they're probably a little bit dusty from yesterday morning, but that's not even red dirt dust. That's just belly button fluff. But yeah, this thing's like a magic carpet. When I'm looking and the cruiser's dipping and bouncing, this thing's just like, woo. So does make it a bit easier for all the components on the inside of the van. So anyway, we'll get a fire going, get some nachos cooking up, and enjoy another beautiful outback secluded campsite. Oh. Bye-bye. What an afternoon. Oh, I love that colour over there, that purpley hue.
Oh yeah. This is beautiful.
Bit of a turn in those. Got a check done. And this is the one that I'm gonna get my hands filthy, but there's a bit of movement there, so I'll make sure they're all tightened up too. Less than a quarter of a turn, but still there's a turn there, so a lot of corrugations.
Oh.
And even just visually inspect the nuts behind that there, they all look tight, so I don't have to go bugging around with them.
Yeah.
Just probably 10 or 15 deserted little buildings. I don't know what they're doing out here, but they're not here anymore. So this is some deserted town that's probably only 50 k's out of Kiwirrkurra, or Kiwirrkurra, which is Australia's most remote town, which we'll be heading into. But we're just looking for somewhere to like stop and have lunch, and we just saw all these buildings and like, oh, let's go in here. It's sort of weird, hey, seeing all these just kit home shed
and they're
buildings.
Well preserved.
They don't look like they're all that old, but maybe there was like a mining operation or something out here. But yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Out of Kiwirrkurra because they operate on NT time here, so don't get caught out like we did. We thought they were operating on Western Australia time, because after all we are in Western Australia, but they're shut. The fuel stop's shut. The 24-hour I've got to get out of here. The 24-hour fuel station isn't working. The general store is shut, so we're just in and out of here. We do have probably enough fuel to get to the next fuel stop, so we're just gonna get out of here.
We just had a chat to the area manager, and he gave us kind of the rundown on the place, and then he ended with, make sure you camp a fair way out of town.
The art centre is all shut up, so we can't actually go in there and have a look at that at the moment because there's just no people to man it at the moment. He said that they're spread pretty thin for staff out here, as you can imagine. We're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it is what it is. I can see Len Beadle's truck up here, so we'll just take a quick detour past the one and only tourist attraction of Kiwirrkurra, and then we'll head on out of town. That's a vibrant sunset right there, right? Yeah. Well, I found a little road off.
Beep.
Hopefully we can pull up for the night somewhere here. Look at that sunset, it's gorgeous. Here we go. Oh, this is perfect. Look at this.
Yeah.
I knew we'd find something. Face the mountain or the... That's it. Oh, there's people over there.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people. Maybe that's the tag along.
Should we go and have a look?
No, I don't.
Looks like there's a car coming this way. There's a car coming over. I might just ask this guy. We just got kicked out of here.
Can you believe it?
Mate, it's like 10 past 5. It's like 7 o'clock Northern Territory time. I'm like, nah, you gotta keep going, can't camp here. Thought they were joking, but no, apparently not. That looked like a perfect campsite for the night.
Crazy.
Disappointing, really.
This is our second attempt at finding a camp for the night, because that first one looked perfect and we got there just after sunset, and then just as we were pulling up to park we noticed like a group of people off in the distance and they were having a fire and everything. And then
I thought it was just a 4-wheel drive tag along tour.
Yeah.
And then like we hadn't even stopped yet, and
No.
they were already like making their way over to us.
Yeah, the car just beelined for us, and I instantly like started to get scared and bad vibes, and Brad hopped out to like go and talk to them.
Yeah. Oh, and then I said, oh, can we camp here the night? Like we just left, whatever, we couldn't get fuel, we need to go to Kintor. And instantly I was like, no, you can't stay here. And I'm like, I was waiting for him to joke with me. I was just like, you know, we literally are in the most remote part of Australia.
Yeah.
And I know we keep saying remote, but literally there's nothing around. And they're like, no, you can't camp here. We're struggling to find a pull-off on the side of the road to camp in.
Literally,
And,
like we would have stopped ages ago before the sun went down, but there were no pull-offs, and then we finally find one.
And so
and
we've
this
driven an
group
hour in
of
the
random
dark.
people are like, no, you can't be here. And they were just giving creepy vibes, hey?
Yeah. So
Just
we've
in
put some
case.
distance. We've put some distance between us and them. But like driving at night, especially in these outback roads, like I can't really see that far ahead of me, and the road's bad. But we just did what we had to do, really, and we've lucky
It
enough
just sucks
to
though,
find
like
like
you feel, now I just feel uneasy.
oh yeah, uneasy, unwelcome. Now I'm motivated more than ever to just get off this track. Like I'm motivated to really put some Ks under our belt tomorrow, just because I don't really want to stay along this track anymore, because like, yeah, we don't feel safe or we don't feel like welcome. So you know.
Yeah, that's twice now today.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're like sort of tucked ourselves in here away from everything. Like if you're going along the road, I don't think you'd see us. So hopefully we have a nice night's sleep and then we can keep punching tomorrow. But I'm buggered. Yeah, we're cook up a quick feed and go to bed because I'm buggered.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Day 4 on the Gary Junction, and we're hoping that this is our last day on this track because as you can see we've woken up to clouds, and more specifically rain clouds off in the distance, and this is the exact place that we do not want to be when it rains, because that means we're going to be stuck here for a week if it comes down, because the roads will be atrocious and slippery and we won't be able to get anywhere. So we're going to really try and pump out the Ks. We've got about 450 Ks until we can reach tarmac, so that's a really big drive on corrugations with a caravan, but we're going to try and do it today. So we're leaving quite early. We haven't quite got all our jobs done this morning that we usually like to get done in the morning, but we're just going to have to make the decision to get moving because we don't want to get closed in with this stuff.
Joking.
Yes, it's
oh
a big
my
dog.
God.
Oh, it's fucking bouncing. Yeah. Oh my God, that thing is a behemoth.
Wow.
What on earth? I've never seen a wild camel. I've got to go out and say hello. Gary! Gary's... Come on, I'm going to go for a quick ride. Come on, don't be shy. Come on. We finally made it, our last community along the Gary Junction. So we just rolled into Papunya. Gonna top off on a fuel before we head south into the West McDonald Ranges.
Yes.
Classic. We are close to Alice Springs. Very close. We've just travelled halfway across the country.
I'm excited to go to the West McDonald Ranges and actually do some stuff and see some things apart from just driving and red dirt.
Yeah, it's definitely this journey, this trip along the Gary Junction has become more of a like sort of a shortcut for us rather than a place with a bunch of destinations along the way.
There's not a lot of sightseeing.
Nah.
Which I thought there would be, but yeah, it's really just a shortcut of a track to get across the country.
Yeah. So we got to find fuel. Nothing is signposted in these communities. It's such a nightmare. Like even like at the last place that we went to go visit the art centre, but there's no signs. We couldn't find it, and there was a guy walking around with a kitchen knife. So we decided to just
and throwing it.
We decided to just bail out of there.
After yet another fuel stop, we pushed on towards the tarmac. The scenery changed quite quickly as we approached the West MacDonnell Ranges, an ancient mountain range most famous for its iconic gorges and quintessential outback Australian scenery, which we were keen to explore over the next coming days. But that'll have to wait till next time. We thank you for sticking around to the end of the episode. Consider supporting us by liking, commenting and subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.